selling real one Chevy.
Hey everyone, welcome to IJustWatched. I'm Joseph. We're about to discuss She-Hulk episode 8. Spoiler warning before we jump into it. Also, I feel like shit, but I'm just throwing that out there, so if it looks off, feels off, I apologize. But that being said, let's discuss She-Hulk episode 8. Also, I almost forgot. Hopefully you like this enough to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little bell to get notified. Honestly, I forgot that we're gonna get Frogman or Leapfrog in the show. So when I saw him, I was like, it made me remember when I first saw the glimpse of him in the trailer. And again, the suit is god awful, for one. And then they mess, like, how do you mess up with such a low tier character? Eugene, I can't, whatever his name is, I apologize. He takes the mantle and he rebrands it Frogman because he wants to be the hero. Leapfrog is his dad, who's the villain. And then my thing is, how'd you mess it up? Because they gave him boots with blasters like Syndrome. His whole thing is that he has technology in his suit that lets him jump. Thus the whole Leapfrog, or when he becomes a good guy, the son, Frogman. So I was like, how'd you mess that up by putting him in jet boots? You know? And then the helmet looks like the worst Power Ranger I've ever seen in my life. And it makes me think Aquaman, Black Manta, they didn't put him in a diver's helmet with a manta ray on top. No, they gave him the comic book accurate helmet and it looked beautiful. You're going for a joke ass character in a joke filled, very idiotic at times show. Why not give him and commit the actual frog head where he, his eyes are in the mouth and stuff? Why not just do that? It's almost if they're trying to take the suit serious, but everything else doesn't make sense. It just didn't blend for me. And that didn't start the episode off too good, excuse me. Overall, I do think this is a better episode, especially with 5, 6, and 7 being god awful. It's not enough to save the show, and it starts good. Of course, seeing Homeboy as Matt Murdock was fun. I've said it before, I would prefer if they're gonna do something new, then do something completely new. Don't bring in actors and actresses and storylines from not just the Netflix series, but any pre-existing series and be like, yeah, we're gonna do something new, but reuse all this, but give you something new. Even the way they said his own show is supposed to be its own, like, new season number 1, has nothing to do with the original, it's not a continuation. Then at that point, just do something new. However, he kills it. We already knew he did from the Netflix series. I've never been a fan of him in the yellow suit, in the yellow and brown suit, yellow and red suit. I very much prefer the giant blood red suit. They still didn't put the DD on his chest. I'm like, that's a complete missed opportunity. You're starting over, and you're giving us this character. Why not attach the DD to the chest? The DD on the chest was something that I was always missing in the Netflix series. And I was like, you know what, we'll probably get it here. And they didn't. This very much looks like a knockoff from the Netflix version instead of giving us proper MCU iteration. Again, it's not Charlie Cox. He does a good job as Matt Murdock. He has the wit. He has some good humor here. His one conversation with She-Hulk, with Jen, is a complete change to her character. We had 7 episodes of nothing really, but small little things to set something up. One conversation with him in a bar, and she's like, you're right, I can be a lawyer and a superhero. I'm like, cool, but like, we should have been there. So much development, nothing really ever happens, and then one little 10-second conversation, and she suits up, she's the hero. And it only felt like that because they're like, you know what, we only got 1 episode after this, we gotta make her do something heroic. That change for me should have happened after episode 4, because episode 4, against what she wanted to do, she went and helped and did some She-Hulk heroic shit. So after that, she should have started, I would have done the joke of starting small, cast out of trees, fire on the way to work, little things like that throughout the episode. Small scenes like that would have helped develop it better and show us that even though she doesn't want to be, she's noticing that she can be and should be the hero, With great power comes great responsibility, alright? Uncle Ben been saying that for ages. Overall, again, it is a better episode. I'm just nitpicking at a few things, but it's really just carryover from the previous episodes. Leapfrog, missed opportunity, stupid version of the character. Don't get me wrong, the character's not great to begin with. I like Frogman, which is his son, the hero. He's an idiot, and he's not a good hero at all. He's clumsy as hell. If he wins, it's usually because it's an accident or by luck. Daredevil, again, he looked cool. The fight scene in the hallway that we had here is such a disappointment because when you have the brawls that we got in the Netflix series with him, it's one of the reasons I would have preferred them to just do completely something new, because now there's no way for me not to compare it to that. The fight scenes on his show on Netflix were amazing. The stairs, the hallway, like those fight scenes were beautiful. This one was okay. They were really pushing at the fact that they were spending CGI on them, and a lot of it didn't look clean. Hers still, but overall, a better episode. Not a big, oh my god. If you're like a huge, oh my god, I love the Netflix Daredevil, this is amazing, you're gonna like this episode because he's in it for quite a bit. And really, everything we got in the trailers for him is pretty much this episode. They gave him a walk of shame after they hook up. I didn't understand the walk of shame part. I'm not against it. This whole time he's talking about privacy and the double identity and how he has secret identity, and you can't. But he just walks out of Jennifer Walters' house in the Daredevil thing. Like, he wouldn't change, so he's just Matt Murdock during the day. I don't know, little things like that bother me as a fan, especially when you're in my face. The episode where, like, secret identity, okay, and the next day just walking down the street, bright deadlight, in a whole Daredevil outfit with his boots off. I'm like, you would have changed and just been Matt Murdock walking down the street. We get to the gala, and right before, I apologize, we get a Red Hulk drop. Like, she says literally a Red Hulk, or she says a Hulk that's red. Apologize, something like that. Nikki pops up with the brushes, and she goes, rah, and it's like the fake Wolverine thing. So it's one very blatant Red Hulk reference, and then a Wolverine reference, which makes sense because Wolverine first appeared fighting the Hulk. He wasn't even supposed to be a real main character. He was just created for that and then took off. But that's another comic book conversation. I figured, that Intelligentsia was going to do something. Intelligentsia basically takes over the gala. I really enjoyed the part when the announcer's like, the female lawyer of the year, and then just announce a bunch of them, so you get the reaction like, why is it so many? And then you get the stupid question, what is it like being a lawyer but a woman? You're still a fucking lawyer. But I understand the point of it, so I actually like that. And I love Brooks, I can't remember right now, I'm sorry. I love her response. She's like, it's twice the amount of work, less recognition, and you get asked stupid questions like, what is it like being a female lawyer? I was like, that is perfect. And then Intelligentsia takes over. You see the King Hulk symbol. And then all they do is just leak pieces that add to the jokes from the beginning. Like, she looked up Captain America's ass, so you see him running away. You see that she went on dates and made her Tinder or whatever it was called on the show. I apologize. And you see that, what's his face, Josh, made a sex tape and they put it on the screen, so she literally just loses control and breaks the thing. And the thing that threw me is, as soon as she gets out, the super police, it's not SHIELD anymore. Whoever, I don't know who they're called on the show at the moment. I apologize again. But they were there quick. Like, they were there before anything went down, because they didn't show up. Because she literally broke the thing, people ran out, and she chased the dude recording, and they were there with the guns ready to like stop her. And I was like, yo, who the fuck called them early? Obviously it had to be Intelligentsia. They're trying to ruin her character, credibility, her name. The threat level for them hasn't hit personally. They just feel, again, which I think part of the joke is that they're just a trolling website with online social media, blah blah blah. But I want to hear your thoughts. Again, sorry, I definitely don't feel good, and it's keeping me from being able to remember everything I wanted to remember, like names and whatnot. But I want to hear your thoughts. This episode, again, yes, it is better. The show overall is it's okay, I guess. I don't know. I wanted to. At first, I was hella nervous going in, and then the first couple episodes, I was like, all right, you know what, this is good. And then hard left down every wrong road. Seeing Homeboy's Daredevil was fun, but other than the fact that it was, again, like a nostalgic piece, kind of like No Way Home for me. No Way Home to me is not that good of a movie. What makes it great or really enjoyable is seeing Green Goblin, Doc Ock, both Spider-Man, like seeing all those characters that I loved, seeing those characters that I had already loved and nobody cared for come back, is what made that movie so amazing. So when I have a conversation with someone about the movie, they don't understand, and maybe I'm not explaining it correctly. That's how I take this episode, where this episode was okay, but the part that really made me enjoy it was the fact that you get to see Matt Murdock hit her with some lawyer wit. You get to see him do some Daredevil shit, and then that was it. So I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about this episode? How do you feel about this episode? How do you feel about the show so far? We got one left, episode 9. I'm just ready for this thing to be over right now. My care has just decreased. I'm hoping it's a good ending, something pivotal. It's gonna be some drop, and part of me also thinks that she might, the whole connection they're building between her and Daredevil would be fun to see if maybe she quits this job to go work with him in his own agency. But I digress. Again, down below, comments, questions, concerns. Hopefully you're doing good. But until next time, stay safe, be well. Adios.